Welcome to Carcomparos. Today we're going to be comparing the Tata Tiago with India's favorite hatchback, the Maruti Suzuki Swift. Pricing and features. The mid-range Swift VDI ABS variant retails for 7.5 lakh on road Delhi, which is without doubt one of the most popular hatchbacks in the country today. But thanks to jaw-dropping pricing of the Tata Tiago, prospective buyers considering a mid-range Swift might give the top-end Tiago a thought. The Tiago Diesel XZ variant costs 6.12 lakh, which is a ridiculous 1.4 lakh rupees cheaper than the Swift VDI ABS. The Tiago also has umpteen extra features over the Swift, for example the airbags, rear wash wipe, alloy wheels, steering wheel switches, Bluetooth, height adjustable driver's seat, etc. These features are at least worth around 40,000 rupees, making the Tiago 1.8 lakh rupees cheaper than an equivalent Swift. Performance and drivability. Swift's Petrol K12 engine feels like a quantum leap over the Tiago's non-turbocharged version of the 1.2 Revertron engine. The K12 is supremely refined and blissfully free-revving, in stark contrast to Tiago's raucous and harsh-sounding motor. Both engines lack adequate low-end grunt, resulting in the need for constant gear shifts in city traffic. Sadly, neither of the cars are available with an automatic transmission as of today. The Swift does have noticeably better performance than the Tiago across the rev range. Amongst the diesels, the Tiago has slightly lesser turbo lag than the Swift, making it easier to live with on daily commutes. However, it has none of the ballistic acceleration of the Swift once the turbo gets going. Tiago feels completely out of breath on the highways, where the Swift really excels, making short work of overtaking lorries and intercity buses. Not surprising given the Swift is almost 40% more torquey than the Tiago, considering the torque to weight ratio of both the cars. Fuel efficiency. The Tiago Petrol has an ARAI certified mileage of 23.8 kmpl, which is around 3 kmpl more than the Swift's mileage of 20.4 kmpl. The Tiago Diesel on the other hand has an ARAI certified mileage of 27.2 kmpl, which is around 2 kmpl more than the Swift's mileage of 25.2 kmpl. In our real-world tests, both diesel cars returned identical fuel efficiency. Amongst the petrols, the Tiago was surprisingly half a kpl less efficient than the Swift. Space and comfort. Swift may be slightly larger than the Tiago on the outside, but the Tiago has far better space on the inside. Swift has an uncomfortably cramped and claustrophobic cabin, especially for the unfortunate rear passengers. Legroom, knee room, and headroom is in short supply even for two normal-sized adults. Tiago is much more accommodating in comparison. There's adequate space for a family of 5 aided by an airy ambience. Even the Tiago's boot space of 242 liters, though not great, is a crucial 40 liters more than the Swift's 205-liter joke of a boot. Both cars have pleasing, well-appointed cabins, but the Swift's feels more solidly put together than the Tiago's. Handling and ride quality. The Tiago is a well-balanced and lively car to drive, but it is no match to the brilliant handling of the Swift. Swift's taut chassis and sharp responses make it a cinch to drive around twisty roads. However, that takes a toll on its ride quality. Ride over broken roads is no less than a punishment in the Swift, especially for the same unfortunate rear passengers. The Tiago copes with bumps and ruts much better and keeps the occupants well isolated from the rough stuff. Reliability and after-sales service. Tata needs to raise its game big time to catch up to the lofty levels of after-sales service that Maruti Suzuki is known for in this country. Tata's cars are known to have teething troubles at launch, and then niggling issues keep cropping up as if it's a norm. Service centers also need a major intervention from the company to get the quality of workmanship in order. Resale and cost of ownership. Swift is bound to hold significantly better resale value than the Tiago over a usage period of 5 to 7 years, thanks to Maruti's stellar track record at product reliability as well as service support. Overall, the Tiago XZ works out to be just 48,000 rupees less than the Swift VDI ABS in terms of total cost of ownership. The Petrol Tiago XZ works out to be a noteworthy 65,000 rupees cheaper compared to the Swift ZX-i ABS. Which brings us to the verdict. The Tiago Diesel is the most practical option amongst this test. It is immensely more spacious than the Swift, is easier to drive around city traffic, and rides much more comfortably over Indian roads. On paper, it is also much better value for money than the Swift, but it is a bit of a gamble, in the sense that a couple of unscheduled repairs is all it takes to make it more expensive than the Swift in the long run.